Hello, everyone, and welcome back. If you have been enjoying Fantasy Live I, the girl who steals time, you've probably noticed that just like in real life, you need plenty of dosh. As someone who is eager to build and decorate my very own island, I've definitely developed a little bit of a shopping habit. I just can't resist all of that cute furniture. To keep up with my spending, I found some pretty reliable ways to earn money in the game, and today I'm going to share them with you. If you enjoy cozy game content, don't forget to like and also subscribe. But let's get into this. So first off, we're going to start off with something pretty basic that you might have already started working through. We're going to talk about the life system, and in the beginning of the game, it prompts you to unlock your first life, and you will notice that for unlocking that first life, you are awarded with 1,000 dosh. After completing the first introduction quest for this life, you then kind of have a little bit of freedom as to how you want to go about unlocking the rest of the lives. I personally have spent quite a lot of time unlocking all of these different lives that I have here. I've kind of not unlocked some of the combat ones, but apart from that, I have spent a lot of time doing this. And not only will this help you later down the line in your gameplay when it comes to needing something to craft, for example, but you can also earn a good amount of starter gold here. To start with, you obviously have access to 12 lives, and each life you unlock, you will be awarded 1,000 dosh. Obviously, this isn't going to make you a millionaire, but if you want a nice little bit of starter gold to get you going, then this is a good one. Alternatively, you might need to give some to Anne, so there is that as well. So definitely don't sleep on this bit. Another really simple method of earning gold is doing your side quests. The rewards for these will vary greatly, but the majority will award you with some dosh as well as maybe an item if you're really lucky. Some of these do include recipes as well, which is nice. If you see a villager with a white bubble above their head, it means that you have a particular quest that relates to a life that you have already unlocked. If the bubble is blue, that means that the particular life is still awaiting to be unlocked. Obviously, I would suggest if you see someone with the white bubble above their heads that you activate the quest, because you may even start to complete them without actually having to focus specifically on them. Also, I found that once I had lots of quests stacked up, I was able to easily run through everything, craft what I needed, make sure that I had the resources that I needed, and then run back around the map and hand them all in one kind of fell swoop, so I wasn't traveling back and forth, and then this felt like I was getting a good chunk of money all in one go. The more you engage in combat in the game, you will notice that chests can commonly drop from your battles. Within these chests, you will frequently find excess tools and weapons. It is worthwhile checking once in a while if these tools are better than the ones you currently have equipped. If you have also unlocked buddies, also check their tools in the equipment section. But once you have done this, there is no reason to keep hold of these, so sell them for that dosh. Another thing that you might come across from loot is sacks of gold, silver, and copper. These are high value items and will be sure to make you some good money quickly. From my research, it also looks like in the previous game there were a couple of recipes that did require these, so you may want to keep a hold of a few just in case, or sell them if you want to live your life on the edge. The Fantasy Life team have put out some gift codes, and one of the most recent ones actually awarded players with 10 sacks of gold. So if you are really desperate for money, make sure that you have claimed these codes, and I'll put them on screen now for you. I'm not sure when they expire, but make sure that you do go ahead, go into your weird pad, and then find the relevant gift section, and then you can just enter in the codes there. Another thing that you will find in the world is bugs. If you get close to these, you will notice that there is a sparkly spot and you'll be able to press F. Quite easy to catch, but some of these bugs are not going to make you lots of money, but they do start at kind of a good amount. Some of the ones that I've caught have been around the 300 dosh mark, but actually the dragonflies, they sell for 900 each, and I currently have 5 of these, so I'm definitely going to be selling a couple of them. I do have a little bit of a caveat with this one, like the loot sacks. These can also be used for quests. For example, in Tropica Island, I did start a quest which required me to have 5 penny beetles, so just be mindful for that when you are deciding what to sell and what not to. You may kind of kick yourself later if you have sold all of them. So again, I would just keep on hand a few of these. I have already mentioned combat because things can obviously drop from your enemies, and it is obviously quite a large part of the game, and it is one way that you may be earning money without realizing it. When you kill enemies, you do receive a small portion of dosh. It does appear that even for the lower creatures, you can get around 10 dosh per animal. This definitely isn't going to be a get rich quick scheme. However, if you do go on a combat run in, for example, during Normosia, you should end up coming back with a healthier balance. This is also good to consider if you're thinking about playing with friends and just going in, fighting everything, and hopefully you will come back with a little bit more dosh. If you are on the map and you see an icon that looks slightly different to some of the other icons, such as maybe a boss icon or a special tree, then you should be sure to kind of gather these or kill them, because these have the chance to drop rarer materials that you can either use to sell or you can use them to craft higher value items as well. So definitely focus on these. Some of them will have a slight cooldown of sort of 5 minutes, but you can definitely kind of incorporate this into your daily gameplay. So there are kind of the pretty basic ways to earn money. Let's start talking about resources and actually crafting. As you get into the game a little bit more, you will start to collect a lot of resources, especially if you are like me and trying to collect everything you come across. And it may be very tempting to sell the bare resources if you look at them and think, I have so much of these in my inventory. And you can definitely do that. But if you turn your resources into items such as tools, weapons, and furniture, you will find that you are making money a lot quicker. Although obviously you do have to craft, which can be a little bit time consuming, but it is definitely worth it. Something that is really important to note here is about the autocraft function. Autocraft can be very tempting to save time, however, in reality, it isn't as good as it seems. This is because although autocraft will allow you to skip the minigame, you are actually missing out on potential perks. Yes, I have done it occasionally where I just really quickly want some planks, so I've just used it. But for example, with the planks, if you want to craft lots of them and you use the autocraft feature, you are actually missing out on the chance to get a performance-based enhanced loot. For example, if you do a really good job, you will receive extra planks due to manually crafting them. This theory also applies when it comes to crafting tools, furniture, etc., and the autocraft may actually cause you to lose out on dosh. When you craft an item, you have the chance to get perks on that particular thing, and if you do well, these will enhance the sell price. As you can see here, I have 2 forest dining tables. Obviously, these aren't huge money makers, but one I crafted using the autocraft function and one I crafted using manual craft. The top one has a perk on it, and this one actually sells for 60 dosh more. It's obviously up to you how much this extra dosh matters to you over the time spent doing it, but if you do want to level up and get better, definitely don't skip this. As you get more proficient at particular skills, you will find that sometimes you can even complete items very quickly, so it doesn't take that much time at all to even craft these, particularly if you have like a buddy and some good tools. So you might be thinking, well, that's all great, but what should I actually be crafting? So far, I have found furniture making the best way for me to make money, and early on, I focused on crafting furniture that required wood because it felt pretty abundant. The most profitable item to craft early on with items that are easy to find is the tropical bed, which requires palm lumber, dandelion puff, and woven straw fabric. So you will require the tailor's life for this one if you don't want to spend money buying the resources. But the top level of this bed sells for 1,150 dosh, which is pretty good. And all of these resources can be found in kind of one area, so you're not going to be having to traipse all over the map to try and find them. A little bit more of an advanced item is the science equipment crafting method, which one of my community members shared with me. This is an alchemist recipe, so you will require that life to be unlocked. You will find the recipe for the science equipment from the tool shop in the capital of Mysteria. Whilst there, you will also want to buy science flask and suspicious objects. You can actually make the science flask if you have the resources and you want to make the extra dosh, and obviously you have the time. Then all you need to do is go ahead and craft your science equipment. These sell for around 3,400 dosh each at the basic level, so even if you buy the suspicious object at 50 and the science flask for 900 100 each, that is still a very good profit. And using this method, you will find that you will soon be rolling in money in no time. The only downside to this is it is obviously quite time consuming and a little bit repetitive, but it is a good way to get money if you are really struggling. And the final thing that might save you a little bit of money is utilizing the other currencies in the game. This game obviously has a few other currencies aside from Dosh, including the Celestial Gifts, which are quite easy to farm if you just work through the daily tasks. And you obviously are able to pick quite a substantial amount from your base camp if you begin to level it up. You will need to save some of these for converting strangelings, and there are some other things that may have caught your eye in Marco's shop in the base camp guild. However, if you are in a real pickle and in desperate need of money, you can buy things such as seeds and potions from the store, which might save you a little bit of money. If you are really cheeky, then you could go ahead and sell these for Dosh as well, but I'm not sure how much that will realistically make you. So there we have it. There are all the ways I've been making money in the game. I'm sure there are others, and if you have found different ways, please share them in the comments. I would really be very interested to hear them. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.